and welcome to round 2 with Faeries. I'm unsure if this hand is a keeper. We'll give it a try. It's been borderline in the past. The lack of a powerful one-drop hand. Well, depending on which Dryad Arbor Elf our opponent, or Arbor Elf deck our opponent is, our hand could be very good or very bad. I guess I probably should have shipped on the basis of I'm never going to have an untapped fourth lane with this draw. That's like a big issue. If our opponent overgrows here, we're in well, we're not actually in huge trouble. We have this eventually to take care of it. We're going to have to manage with Mana Leak and Spellsetter Sprite. If we get turn 2 Garrick, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, that's a problem. So our opponent's playing the Tooth and Ale deck or Mono Green Devotion or some variant of that. And the general premise is that you... Oh, yeah. Well, you make your blue-black control opponent die a horrific death to turn 2 Garrick. Not what I wanted to see. So let's think about sideboarding. Ancestral Vision does not seem amazing here. Misfind Click seems decent. I do want a decent amount of spot removal to make Misfind Click work. Yeah, sure. I can't just let my opponent add an additional 6 power to the battlefield each turn by hasting up a beast. Although, this is almost, yeah, their devotion was at 6. Yeah, that was almost lethal there too. So none of that was going very well for me. Okay. Still have outs. Don't think casting that's one of them. I think that Spellsetter Sprite's also involved here. Just going after Garrick. I'm probably going to have to pick off some beasts here. I've got to actually think about what's going on here. So I'll take my 7. I think I might just be done for if my opponent makes a third beast, actually, on this turn. That seems like a real issue. Is this the post-combat Tooth and Nail? Oh, because the Xenagos is in the graveyard, so... Doesn't matter. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. So, not good. Damnation's not great. Thoughtseize seems excellent. Engineered Explosives for 1 is okay. Ghost Quarter seems excellent because it breaks up all the nonsense they're doing. Negate seems fine. Dispel's bad. Okay, let's go to the removal suites. I'm not huge on Murderous Cut. Disfigure's good. Spell Snare is not great. It counters Voyaging Satyr. Vendillion's fine. This card does not seem super exciting. I think I need to fight on a different axis. think that those are correct, and you only want like one EE because you're only mopping up a few things. Though Damnation, I don't think that's how I'm supposed to fight my opponent. I don't think I'm supposed to wrath their nonsense. Yeah, that can't be. I could shave down a Sprite. Sprite does not seem super exciting here. I want all my clicks though. Maybe just the Damnation. In theory, there's like cryptic setups where stuff happens. In theory, I have to beat a Hornet Queen some games. I don't want a ton of Disfigure, though I think that's better than Dismember. Sure, let's try this. Yeah, getting turn 2 Garrick is a little out of range for this deck to beat with non-Thoughtseize hands. This is okay. Starting to think there might... I don't know. I don't know if there is actually one too many Dark Slick Shores, because if you're boarding out a lot of Faeries in some matchups, you need untapped duels. You don't want to fetch an untapped Watery Grave. You don't want more Watery Graves. You definitely don't want... Maybe you want a second River of Tears over the fourth Dark Slick, just so you don't draw into these double Dark Slick hands and miss your... Like, double Dark Slick Creeping Tar Pit, as we saw last game, was very awkward. Okay, they kept 7. Off to the races. Hopefully they just like Arbor Elf. We disfig. This is probably Utopia's fault based on how long it's taking them to choose targets. Oh no. Just out off the team. Okay, so that's going to be our 4th land. Ooh. One of these hands. Well, classic dilemma. I'd rather have this be my tap land on the battlefield early, honestly. Because it has more utility that, like, turn I'd be playing my 5th land later. Gosh, the value! How does... Oh man, I forgot how good that was when that happened. I think I'm just supposed to misbind click here. There's no way my opponent just has like... I think I've gut shot. Maybe this is getting aggressive. Nah. Nah. Not afraid. Whatever. No fear. Good. Good. Why this targets a player, I have no idea. Is it a target opponent? Throat has been gone for. Killing in 2 attacks. Primal Command's a very minor setback, I think. I'm trying to think what I would tell my opponent to keep here. Or to ship here. I just want to know. I think Overgrowth I might tell my opponent to put on the bottom of their deck. So there's 2 Tooth, Zen, Nix, Forest, Harmonize. I think I'm supposed to take Harmonize here. I don't really like giving my opponent one draw here, and then they're still, if they go 5-7, they're still out of tooth and nail range. They'd have to draw. That's fine. Their graveyard's all Arbor Elf. I can beat that. The fear was they draw Overgrowth, play 2 lands. They'd have to draw exactly in order Overgrowth into Emrakul to make that dangerous, because they don't have enough to kick her tooth and nail in time to not die, but they have enough to uh, cast tooth and nail, no entwine. I'll take the Xenagos because that card is actually something that, in theory, could lead to me dying, not next turn, but from my opponent's hand. 5, 6. Like taking one of 2 tooth and nails doesn't do anything. That deck's kind of scary in that it can get out under me. I don't think EE is where I want to be on the draw. I think I need to dismember away stuff. Sprite's not the greatest. It's between dismember and Sprite here. Probably dismember. Something I've been noticing is there's a lot more pacing of Bitter Blossom than I'm used to, because there's a lot more things that can happen on 3 that make the game go horribly wrong when you're on the draw. Not so much on 2. On 2, you usually just jam it, but on the draw, you have to consider a lot more than you used to. Especially because I think that the double 2-drop turn 4s, I guess part of it is that the plays that your opponents are making on 3 that break the game are ones that you can't immediately rectify on 4. Yeah, I like this hand. It's not the best in the world, but it'll do. Click is a fine beatdown clock. The second Thoughtseize is really nice, even though I'm taking 1,000,000 damage. The problems that my opponent can present here are very early Garruk, but I have a lot of ways to fight that. Huh. I think so. Knowing how my opponent's deck functions, I don't think there's a lot of 2-mana plays I'm afraid of, but there's a lot of 3-mana plays that could get really awkward, specifically Overgrowth. So I think that being able to Thoughtseize from the position I'm in the next, or actually, if I draw a 3rd land, it's very possible I just leave up Negate and then pass Negate and then Thoughtseize with Negate up on 3. Though I guess if my opponent follows up to Voyaging Satyr and then is I can't. They the sequence, they have to specifically have Garruk, 2 powerful 4-drops and then another ramp spell, exactly one of the ramp spell, and then land or something like that to punish me for my line. I don't think I actually want to fire Thoughtseize into this. I think the Flex Negate's a little more powerful. Especially because I drew Doomblade in case they have just more mana dorks. And if they do nothing, I can flash in Snapcaster and bring the beats. This is Overgrowth. I think I have to negate it. Okay, I can beat that with the card in my hand. That's fine. It's obnoxious, but it's fine. I can't do anything. If they have Thragtusk, I'm in a big problem spot. I guess they didn't have a land last turn, so that's fine. I'm okay. I think Leaping Up Negate's the best line. I think it's too easy for them just to have two things to do. And they had so many mana ramp options that my Thoughtseize would not have attacked that line, and they'd have enough time to draw into a threat. So attacking the mana early seems really good compared to what I did, or compared to what could have happened. Yep. They have a card. I I don't know what I have to hope it's not. Like Hornet Queen or something? Well, I'm definitely EOT snapping. I don't have time to... Oh, sure. I don't have time to mess around with other stuff. That's a very nice draw. Pretty sure I'm supposed to fire this and hope they don't draw exactly Hornet Queen next turn. One, two, three. This is +1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10? They have 10? Yeah. Not gonna... Yeah. Let's ramp up the heat a little bit. I mean, I gotta... Like, my cards in hand... The click... I have, the odds they have two runners in a row. Like, my hand's not well suited for that anyways. Great. Opponent has literal millions of mana. So now the question is, do I re-up on the click line or do I leave up negates? I think I'm supposed to re-up on the click. I guess this is worse against Harmonize. That's lucky. My thought was that I want to re-up on the click because that's the one that just buys me time instead of like, or it's a riskier like. I don't want to be on. Like once I draw another land, it feels like two cryptic should carry me the rest of the way. So I want to use my riskier like less the things that buy me a little less of the game now, as opposed to well, that's whatever. It's like I'm trying to figure out how to explain why that's the thing I'm supposed to do. Because that also sounds wrong. Like I would want to. I'm really trying to figure out like I know it's the right thing, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why it's the right thing, and that's like a very difficult thing to voice. Did we just draw Hornet Queen in the one turn? I'd be very sad. I can beat Hornet Queen actually. I can tap tap. This looks like something that can get counterspelled. Yeah, absolutely not. You do not get to have any fun today. I am playing Blue Black Faeries. No one gets to have fun. Well, no, I have fun. Cryptic Command is a lot of fun. Why is that play correct? I'm going to have to sit here and think about that for a minute. Why is Mendelian click correct? So I felt like the game was going to end before I got to deploy my cryptic commands. Otherwise, the click saves me from a wider spread of things. I don't even know if there's more creatures in my opponent's deck that threaten me than there are um, harmonizes. Maybe that's wrong because of how bad that play is against harmonize relative to everything else. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm trying to trying to see who was just like, huh. That one's gonna stump me for a while.